Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Blessing here with a new episode on relationship Q&A series. So, like what we've decided to do is to make it a series on relationships and life as well. So the reason for this is because we still get more questions coming in day out. So we thought instead of just cutting people off, let's address these things because these are things that are happening within us. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Probably in a session, we'll be addressing maybe 4 to 5 questions. Then we proceed on to the next series. So let's get into it, shall we?
Sure.
Again, thank you for being here. I'm sure, guys, you remember this face. This will be more of a regular face when it comes to relationship, life issues. So you guys don't want to miss this one. Let's get into it.
Awesome. Thank you.
So the first question says, do you believe that living together before marriage ruins a relationship?
Yeah, definitely. I do believe that. I think in any long-term relationship, I think it's we've spoken about this. You have to live it in levels. So the level that you are alone and he's alone is crucial because that adds value to the time that you're now together.
Yeah.
Now, when you start living together, you tend to take each other for granted. You tend to just, the fights are more constant and there's really nothing to look forward to. Yeah, even when you do set dates that you want to get married or you want to plan this or that, the dates are always shift because you're too comfortable. Yeah.
Okay, so like the person who sent me this, she believes that it actually saves a relationship. But I don't know her reasons. Maybe because you get to understand the person more or what. I don't know, like, what's your take on that?
You see, another aspect of marriage is you don't really get to experience marriage before marriage.
Yeah.
There is that element of surprise that must always be there. Yeah, something that you are looking forward to say when we do get married. Now, if you're having honeymoon before marriage and before the wedding, I mean, you're spoiling everything.
Yeah.
So I've also witnessed a lot of guys that have stayed together and say, no, we're going to officialize things. 10 years into the relationship, they haven't officialized things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then like you find that for some of the people, right, you want to move in with the guy maybe as a source of like to secure yourself, to say, okay, maybe like this is the way I can be with the guy for good, or maybe then you find scenarios whereby we end up getting pregnant for a guy just so that he stays in our lives, but then you find that still at the end of the day he leaves. How then do you like how, do you understand what I'm trying to say though? Yeah, like how then do you draw the thin line to say, okay, like it's either you commit or nothing? Yeah.
I'm glad you said it's a thin line, because once you live in with a person, there's a lot that is at stake. When you are dating and then somebody gets to stay wherever they are, there's a lot of pretending. I see you for a couple of hours, then I get to be alone. But when you're now staying together, it's as good as you seeing my highs, my mids, and my lows. So to then move and graduate to marriage, I don't know what would be the motivation, but I know with most couples, the fact that I can't live alone anymore is a driving motivation to say, I have to marry you. And others, it's a value thing and say, no way, there's no way, the way I was raised, there's no way I'm going to move in the guy before I get married. So it depends where are you coming from. Where I stand, I would say no. Leave an element of excitement, an element of intrigue. And, I'm looking forward to settling down and to moving in, Can I ask you something? You move in with a guy. 3 years, he keeps promising and yet he never marries. You break up with him. You go to another guy. 5 years, he keeps promising. And by the time you actually want to get married, I've gone to weddings where there's no vibe. They are tired. They're not looking forward to anything else because you've been like married so many times. Yeah, we without the title marriage.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. So another question that just came up is, what do you think is the main reason why people, or let's say guys or ladies, fear commitment? Is it because of past hurts, or you just not the type of person who wants to commit to say, okay, like this is my person, okay, like I'm like committing myself to this person? Yeah.
You see, it's almost like getting a test before studying, type of a thing. Issue of commitment, there are variables at play. Yes, past hurts can play a part, but you can't compare a mango to a banana. Yeah, that guy was a douchebag. Maybe this one is also. I think when you begin to understand that everybody have some sort of negativities, they have their dark spaces, they have their shortcomings.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you just have to choose what is a deal breaker for you, or what can you tolerate. Because if you then say, no, I have this insecurity, so I'm not going to commit, you also shortchanging yourself. And how do you know maybe this is going to be a wonderful relationship? So I always say to people that want to get into new relationships, forget about her, forget about him. Just take this new chapter as entirely a new chapter with new experiences.
Yeah. Because I remember, when was it? I think days ago, like we're talking about relationships. Then I'm like, so like, how do you handle a scenario whereby the person who's asking you out, he has some traits that your ex had, of which that person is not really an ex, but then they were there for their own reasons because they didn't want to commit. How then do you like block that out? Because I feel like it then affects that relationship with that guy, because now you're just saying, this guy is the traits of my ex. Now you're ever suspicious of him. Who are you talking to? Why are you doing this? Like, yeah, how do you handle that?
I would say stay away and be alone for a while. Clearly you haven't gotten over your ex. It has nothing to do. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some form of a trait in the other person that the other person had. I'm telling you like that. Whether it's their skin tone, if it's their eyebrows, it's their ears, it's the type of their hair, it's the texture of their skin, it's their height, it's their weight. It's always something. You cannot really, like, from the west to the east. There will always be something. If that bothers you, then it's a telltale sign that you haven't really gotten over your ex. And I'm one person that says you can't get the new guy to kind of help you get over your ex. If anything else, that guy is just reminding you of your ex. Every time they try to do something, you're like, but if it was him, he was going to do it this way.
Yeah.
If we're in the car, he jokes like this. When we eat, he eats like this. So take time, have a space in the middle to just heal.
Okay. So a friend of mine sent me this question. She says that so your parents are pastors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let me just say it's referring to myself, but then my friend asked. So just like you and my aunt are pastors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I introduce you to the guy that I'm interested in and that I feel like I see a future with.
Mm-hmm.
Then you guys say no, like this is a no go area, like this guy is not good for you, because you probably have your reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go as far as looking for a guy for me, right? So your question was, how do I go about it? Because your fears are, one, if she goes with this guy, what if the parents turn out to be right?
Mm-hmm.
How will she go back to the parents to say, okay, you're right? Obviously, you end up sticking around just because you're embarrassed, you're humiliated to say, okay, like, these people told me from day one, but then I didn't listen. Two, she's like, do I follow my heart or just go with what my parents are saying? Because probably they know better because they've experienced life more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? How do you go about such a situation?
Wow. This is getting exciting and interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it from two angles. Angle number one is that you are the one who's in the relationship with this person. And you're obviously old enough to be in that relationship with this particular person. Yes. So if they say no, give them a benefit of doubt to also speak their mind. Why are they saying no to this particular person? Having said that, the second part of my answer is this: your choice may not necessarily be their choice. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you get in a relationship, it's the person you want. You are marrying that person, not what they come with, or the person is marrying you, not with your parents. Even though you are open to suggestions, you're open to opinions, if they know something about that guy which you may not necessarily know, then definitely give an ear to that. But no. So I would say this: don't, if you just said this word, which I would advise you never to do. Don't get into a relationship based on feelings, because you say, if I feel. No, get in there with all your senses. Reasoning capacity being the highest, common sense being second highest. The feelings last, the last ones. That is, the last part is, I don't think anyone has any right to pick somebody for someone. Like, I have no right, even as your uncle.
Does that still happen where, like, you choose?
Yeah.
Okay.
It happens out there, you know.
Yeah. I feel like I can relate to this because I remember, I think it was last year, whereby you warned me about a specific guy. I don't know if you... Guys, I went to all lengths to see this guy. You remember, like, as far as lying, just so that I see this guy. But then it turned out that you were right, and I had to, like, say, okay, like, you know what, you're right, you did tell me. And for me, that was like, okay. So I can, like, relate to your question, because I remember even telling you that, you know what, this question, I can relate to it like 100%. And she's like, yeah, I'm so worried, because what if now, months down the line, this guy ends up doing exactly what my parents told me he would do? Like, how will I deal with myself? And I was just like, you know what, at the end of the day, don't be hard on yourself. You still have, like, time as well.
Yeah, I think it's so key. I would actually say, if you're open with your parents, this is not a guerrilla warfare type of relationship where you have to be hiding behind the scenes and the bushes. Yeah, have an honest conversation. This is the guy I'm interested in. You know, he's like this, because there are dangers these days. You date somebody who nobody knows about, and they pick you, you go out on dates, and if he is to do something with you there, there's no way of finding you. There's no way, and there's just no way of finding him, because he's a ghost. You know, even when now you say, no, he violated me, nobody will believe you, because we didn't know you were in a relationship. So be open. Remember, you're an adult. The first aspect of adulting is being truthful to yourself. This is my choice, you know, and I've chosen this. You are free to advise me otherwise. I'm free to weigh your advice. If there's merit in it, I will consider it. But if there's no merit in it, then I'm sticking to my choice.
But I remember, like, I think months ago, you mentioned something to me. Maybe it was just in passing or what, but then it kind of stuck to my head. You're like, Blessing, if you're to bring this type and this type of nationality, saying this is your boyfriend, I'm going to be chasing you and your boyfriend out of my house. So based on what you just said now, do I have a say in that? To say,
you absolutely have a say in that. You have the freedom to love who you want to love, from wherever they're coming from. But as long as there's not a criminal, as long as they don't have a questionable personality. You see, I say what I say because I want to protect you. But at the end of the day, you still have your choices to make. It's an advice. You can either take it or reject it.
Okay, I got it. Okay, now I understand. Then the last question would be, say I'm in a relationship, right? And sometimes you just insecure, which is maybe a natural thing, I guess. And you just feel like, okay, my boyfriend is cheating on me. What? He's probably doing something behind my back, being with some other girl. Then you realize that maybe 70% of the time, no, 85% of the time, we are wrong. He's never with any other girl. You're the only girl is it because you're insecure or what? Because they say sometimes your instincts never fail you, like they are always spot on. How then do you like deal with such situations when you feel like that?
Okay. Yeah, I think when you suspect someone for no apparent reason, it's either that you're just paranoid. Okay, but that was for free. That was for free. But if there are telltale signs that points to there being something happening, pay attention to it. But if you have said that these are insecurities, mind you, insecurities are never about the next person. They're always about you. They're about where you've been, how you've been, or sometimes how you were raised, or how you were loved, or how you were not loved.
Okay.
So you see, you can't give what was never given to you. So you will then find that if you're not careful, these insecurities are actually pushing people away. Not just romantic relationships, but friendships as well, and work relationships as well.
Yeah.
So you need to look into yourself and paint the person you want to be.
Okay.
Do you want, tell yourself, I want to be loving, I want to be trusting. Because I want to be believed, so I have to be believable. Because I want to be believable, so I have to believe others.
Yeah.
I want somebody to give me the benefit of doubt, so I have to give them a benefit of doubt. Remember, life gives you what you send out. If you send goodness, goodness comes back. If you're honest with somebody, it's difficult unless they're really psychotic. Then they will not give you goodness back. But I would like to believe that humanity is still very sane. So if you give out love, you receive love. And if you give out affection, you receive affection. So when you find yourself that you have these gray areas of insecurities, just deal with them. And how do you deal with them? You be honest. Be honest with yourself. That's why many a time we move away from relationship to relationship. Not because we're not agreeing or we're fighting. It's because you can't handle the truth the other person is telling you. They're taking a mirror and say, I'm your mirror. I'm seeing who you are right now. You are like this, you are like this. Then you say, no, you have no right to judge me. Then we fight because of that.
Yeah.
But I'm just showing you who you are. So face yourself. Deal with yourself. But once you're sure that you've dealt with these things, then you can have the boldness to face any form of relationship.
Okay, last time. You know, how it is whereby like you're in a relationship with someone, right? Then that person is always like, just because of my past relationship, I don't really open up well. Just because of my past relationship, I don't do one or two, or maybe like spoil my girl just because of what my ex did to me. Do you think that's fair on the next person? Because I'm not your ex. I never did those things to you that your ex did. So is that fair for you to like then bring in that baggage and just like use it as a form of saying it like that's my reason for not doing 1, 2, or 3?
Wow, now I'm gonna go to a deeper level which can actually offend someone.
Okay.
But
I hope it's not me.
But it should work like this. When I ask you out, I must make a decision to decide exactly what level I want to enter this relationship at.
Yeah.
And that level is really based on how you are availing to me, how I look at you.
Yeah.
So I can choose to say there's a whole lot of baggage that I don't want to bring to the forefront at the moment. So I keep pretending and I keep pretending. But the problem with that is if I keep pretending for too long, then you like me too fast.
Yeah.
Then I'm afraid to bring the stuff that was hidden, thinking that if I bring it to the fore now, you sort of like going to then back off. So now already you can see that the dynamics of that relationship is already what? It's already messed. So when we get in the relationship, there's a side of me that you don't know. That's why I normally say when we do go for the first date, or I see you with your nice makeup and I'm wearing my nice clothes and my nice perfume, the next date, come as you are, or go for a jog. Now there's no eyeliners, there's nothing. Because the problem is that, am I really falling in love with you, or am I falling in love with how this persona you put on, the way you dress up, the way you make yourself up, and the way you smell, and the way you carry yourself. It's not normally the way you are when you go for a jog. So it's important that we begin to see each other from every level, so that when we continue to make these decisions are coming from a place of knowledge, of full exposure. We know ourselves. Because tomorrow, then, when I start seeing another area or another side of you, I'll be like, where is this coming from? Then I become very insecure about that.
Yeah, I think that's true. We should stop building sandcastles in the ocean. That's like a no-go area. So basically, you should just be honest, be real, be honest. Open. Yeah. So there is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys stay tuned for more, because we have a lot more coming in. It's going to get hot in here, guys. It'll be hot. And I hope those questions don't do the most to me. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Please do what you do best. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. For those with questions, just leave them down below in the comment section, and we'll surely get back to you. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. We love you. Bye.